from Wingate University and WUTV. This is Wingate Today.
Hello and welcome to Wingate Today. I'm Jeff Atkinson. Putting the town of Wingate on the map, our top story. In April, a group of town leaders from Wingate traveled to Elon, North Carolina to see firsthand the success they've had there. Elon is in Alamance County, about 130 miles from Wingate, and for years now, Elon the town and Elon University have worked together, a spirit of cooperation that's seen the town and the university prosper. Could what Elon's done be replicated here? We went along with the mayor and town commissioners to find out. The similarities between Wingate and Elon are hard to deny. Both small towns under 10,000 population, and their universities were founded by religious groups in the late 1800s. Both have elementary schools right next to campus, railroad tracks that run right through campus, and both Elon and Wingate have post offices that have a similar feel. But when it comes to development of the town, particularly downtown, Elon is light years ahead of Wingate. Elon's downtown has eateries. There's an ice cream shop, for example, some retail, and walkability between the downtown and the campus. It's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. This is one of the success stories the university and the town point to. Elon University took the college bookstore off campus, made it into a Barnes & Noble, and created a destination for all the people of Elon.
We're happy to answer any questions you might have.
The mayor pro tem of Elon, he's the one on the left, and a senior VP of Elon University met with town leaders from Wingate in early April who had traveled to Elon on a fact-finding trip. Wingate's mayor, 4 town commissioners, and the town clerk, along with the town manager who spearheaded the trip. What they shared is that theirs is a symbiotic relationship of mutual benefit and dependence.
It certainly is viewed that way by the town. It's a real asset to the town to have the university here.
This dovetails, I think, really well between what our interests are at the university and what the town's interests are.
After about an hour talk, they took a bus tour. Elon University has invested in the town, built sidewalks so students can get to off-campus housing and classes. And the town has championed efforts to provide services that the students and members of the public can enjoy. The successes Elon's had are well documented in the book Transforming a College, written by George Keller that came out 9 years ago. The town is thriving in part because the university is thriving. Buildings have been going up nonstop. And the town is going after groups like retirees who are attracted to college towns. Elon has managed to lure 2 big retirement communities in the last few years.
People want to locate it in an area where they feel a sense of community, and they have opportunities to continue to grow and develop. And I think the existence of a university in any community is an opportunity for those retirees to take advantage of all the programs that we offer, whether those be cultural programs, athletic programs, or whatever.
Can Elon's successes be copied in Wingate? Wingate's 2-term mayor, Bill Braswell, thinks they can.
Elon has faced many of the challenges we are facing now, and it's remarkable how similar our situations are.
Braswell told us he believes the town and the university are committed to working together. Both realize that neither can really grow without the other.
It's that spirit of helping each other out that will make things possible, and I hope we have it. We're certainly trying to develop it.
The mayor told us he's glad they made the trip. When you see what others have done, he says, it makes it very real. Ideas on the table for the town of Wingate? Town leaders would like to incorporate retail with the university and the town, like Elon has done, offer places to eat, and make the town more walkable with sidewalks and better lighting. The town is commissioned a study, and one of the findings was if the town or the university approach growth without the other, the plans would not succeed. Also during the Elon retreat, Scott Hunsucker, Wingate University Associate Vice President for Business, laid out plans the university is moving ahead on. Those plans include renovating the Burnside-Dalton building to accommodate the new Doctor of Physical Therapy program, exploring the option of adding more classroom space on campus, and a petition President Jerry McGee plans to present to the town to close another small section of Camden Road and a half-block section of Cedar Street, creating a safer and more pedestrian-friendly environment.
This is a big day in the town of Wingate.
In March, Wingate officials broke ground on the first pharmacy in the town. You Save It Pharmacy, a company out of Albany, Georgia, is building a 2,400 square foot facility next to McDonald's on Highway 74. bringing new jobs and making a $1.3 million investment in Wingate.
We have done a great thing here, not by just bringing a pharmacy to Wingate, which is a big thing in itself, but by bringing the right pharmacy to Wingate.
You Save It Pharmacy has a reputation for investing in the community. The company's CEO says they were lured here by the university's successful pharmacy school, and they're looking forward to a partnership.
Wingate has something that not many towns have in the state of North Carolina or any state, a pharmacy school. There are only two to four pharmacy schools in any state, and y'all are very fortunate to have one. We're looking forward to working with the pharmacy school here at Wingate.
This is going to be a great addition to the community, but from my perspective, from my selfish perspective, it's going to be great for a learning laboratory for our students. We've been waiting for a pharmacy to locate here right in our backyard, and didn't think it was going to be this close, but that's all the better.
Construction is expected to take a couple of months. The Wingate Pharmacy plans to open this summer. Town and university officials hope it will be a catalyst for development. Luring development is what's behind a big push undertaken by the Union County Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is asking local towns, businesses, and elected bodies to support a resolution asking the state and federal government to speed up construction of the Monroe Bypass. They're asking residents to go online and sign a petition to support moving ahead. The Chamber says construction on the bypass has been pushed back another year. Construction won't start until next year. In the meantime, officials say congestion on U.S. Highway 74 is getting worse, and the delay is keeping the county from recovering from the Great Recession. The bypass, a 20-mile proposed freeway around Monroe, has been talked about for decades. It would provide easier access to Wingate. Wingate University's Board of Trustees passed a resolution in March calling on state and federal officials to expedite construction of the road, saying it would reduce commuter travel time and encourage student population growth. The student experience was what was on display in mid-March when more than 600 people showed up for the annual Wingate Scholars Day. Think of it as a huge meet and greet for prospective freshmen and their parents.
Wingate University is a great place to live, work, learn, and play.
Wingate President Jerry McGee issued a challenge to the Bat Center audience of students and their parents, students who've been admitted but have not yet committed.
And we are confident that you can be successful here. So we have made our decision. Now you have to make yours.
The university can take up to 625 freshmen. Nearly 250, some still biting their nails, showed up for Wingate Scholars Day, the day the university rolls out the red carpet. Students were treated to tours of campus, split up into groups to meet with members of the faculty, while parents attended their own information session, where they could pose questions about financial aid, campus, and college life to an expert panel. Gabe Hollingsworth is Director of Admissions.
The goal of today's event is to introduce admitted students to the Wingate community. They've interacted up to this point with the admission staff. We've helped them through the application process. Now it's time for them to come to a decision.
Scholars Day happens each spring, but preparations for the day begin as early as August. According to Visit Coordinator Jessica Teague, it's all hands on deck.
We have faculty who are all over campus meeting with students and their families. We have students who are helping. Everybody's proactive. I haven't had to say anything. Everybody's just doing what they're supposed to do. So the Wingate community comes together, and it's just great.
The McKenzie family came in from Ocean Isle Beach. Son Trevor found out about Wingate on the internet when he went looking for Division II football schools. Mom and Dad are looking for a faculty-to-student ratio that's right.
I had been at one or two other colleges before this, and this one instantly just felt newer, better. I like the atmosphere better.
We're looking for a small school. We liked the fact that it was a 14-to-1 ratio and felt like the individual teaching experience for Trevor to get a good academic education here, and also he wanted to have the opportunity to play football for Division II school. And so Wingate's going to give him that opportunity.
There were food trucks, Poppy Queso, and Auto Burger brought in from Charlotte, a carnival atmosphere created in the quad, and a chance to sign in the dotted line. On this day in mid-March, a record number of students made the decision to enroll at Wingate.
The visit is critical. The visit is where we spend most of our time and money. The visit is the best picture of the campus experience, and so a day like this, when all hands are on deck, really helps students see what Wingate has to offer.
Admissions officials say the freshman class of 2013 is growing ahead of pace year to date. What are the top 3 majors for incoming freshmen? 2 are in the health sciences, pre-pharmacy and pre-nursing. Rounding out the top 3, athletic training. On the subject of competition, this year Wingate is inviting prospective freshmen to see if there are any Cecil B. DeMille's or Steven Spielbergs out there. Ben Richardson joins us now with our Blog Talk segment. What is this about, Ben?
Well, Jeff, last year admissions came up with a creative campaign called Tweet for Tuition, where students posted pictures on Twitter using a Wingate University flag for a chance to win a scholarship. This was the winning image from last year's contest. This year, a similar campaign took place, only this year the video elements were used in combination with Wingate's most recent athletic campaign, Believe in the Bulldog. Recently, I was able to catch up with current senior Andrew Lipscomb, who was the mastermind behind this project.
We've seen a lot of different things from students who have tried to put their videos out there. One huge component that we wanted to incorporate within the entire video process was that we just don't want to see these videos. We want to give our audience on Facebook a chance to kind of view all of them as well.
And while the purpose was primarily to educate the students on what it means to believe in the Bulldog, the reach went far beyond the gates of our campus. One student even called one of Charlotte's most prominent radio stations, KISS 95.1, to advertise her video.
They've gone to the radio, they've shared it. One person, I believe, has shared over 50 times on Facebook already. I've seen people post it on other media websites like Twitter. They put like Instagram clips of their video up online and things like that. And so that's been kind of fun and creative to see the way that people have promoted their videos as well.
The creative freedom students were able to use in making the videos only makes the competition that much more difficult to judge.
We've seen people use photos of a bulldog and kind of animatedly make the mouth move. We've had some people do rap videos. We've had a few people travel around campus and gain different photos that they could grab while they were here. And so I think that's what's making it more fun, is seeing all of the different ways that students were able to incorporate Wingate within the video.
You can view and vote for the videos online by visiting the admissions Facebook page listed below, facebook.com/Wingate Admissions. The winning video will be selected in late April. The prize, a $4,000 scholarship. We'll share information about this later this summer, and Jeff, that's all I have for this month's Blog Talk.
Ben Richardson, thank you very much. Studying abroad during the summer and at the end of each semester is a unique experience offered to all students at Wingate University, and it's called Winter National Program, which stands for Wingate International. As is the case each year, students camp out the night before sign-ups begin, minus the tents this year, forced inside because of the weather. Just like they camp out to buy concert tickets, students get in queue to have a shot at the top trips. Where are they traveling this year? Paris and Milan, fashion capitals of the world, Brazil, the Baltic states, Poland, Italy, Singapore, and Malaysia. Bon voyage! Facebook was created by a college kid not even a decade ago. Today, it's worth more than $5 billion and has over 1 billion users. Translation, don't underestimate a college entrepreneur. With us now is Kim Williams, here with our Overtime segment. Who are you featuring this time?
Our Overtime story is Ben Biron, a junior marketing major whose invention of a breathalyzer for smartphones may be the next big thing. I met with him recently at the Porter Byron School of Business.
So the Alcahoot is the world's first smartphone breathalyzer.
Ben and one of his business partners are from Israel. They chose the name Alcahoot because the Hebrew slang word for breathalyzer is yanshuf, which also means owl. Their logo is an owl, and since owls hoot, they chose the name Alcahoot.
I have 2 partners. One is Jonathan Ophir, which we went to the Israeli Defense Forces together. We have 6 years combined experience from the vehicular safety from the Israel Defense Forces. And our third partner is Max Kopel, which is a graduate of Syracuse University, and we work 24/7 on this product.
The software and hardware for Alcahoot allows the user to blow into it and get a reading of the blood alcohol level. It also provides a list of restaurants, cab companies with phone numbers, and a tracking history of the Alcahoot user. He and his business partners are already traveling the world and mingling with executives from Microsoft, Google, and IBM, having recently presented in Moscow, New York, and Miami. Alcahoot has won numerous awards, including Cairo's 50 Award, 100 Innovators, and the Coolest College Startup. Ben stays busy with Alcahoot, but still finds time to be a student in Wingate's Porter Byron School of Business.
Ben came to me, it's probably been 1.5 years ago, and talked to me about his project, Alcahoot, which I thought was a terrific project because it combines smartphone plus a needed social kind of benefit, keep drunks off the road. He's developed it further in the last year and a half and gotten to the point where he's taken it out to various investors and kind of prepped that, and they're further along on the development. And Ben is one of our brightest students. He certainly is a great add to the School of Business.
Our plan is to work together this summer and hopefully after I graduate to team up together and keep pursuing this product.
I think it's impressive that a 23-year-old is doing this.
That's a great story. Tell me about the launch.
Well, they're hoping to launch it later this year and work on their marketing this summer, but I think it's just the beginning.
Kim Williams, thank you very much. Coming up on Wingate today, she's a force to be reckoned with on the softball field, and she can belt out a few bars of the national anthem. Hayley Whitley, a Bulldog student athlete attracting the attention of Nashville. Her story's coming up. And a tribute to Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. She was here a few years ago to give a speech. We'll hear from the people who spent some time with her and remember the British Prime Minister. We'll be right back. What is Wingate? A thriving university nestled in a quiet community near Charlotte. Named 6th best value in the South by U.S. News & World Report. Leading the way in the health sciences with pharmacy, PA studies, and nursing. What is Wingate? Big enough to offer 22 NCAA sports. Small enough to attract the best and brightest in the world. What is Wingate? Wingate is you. Wingate University. Major in a great life. Fans got their first glimpse of how Wingate football might unfold in 2013 when the Bulldogs took to the field for the annual spring football game held in mid-April. The scrimmage benefited the boys and girls clubs of Union County. 100% of the take at the gate went to the local club, which provides after-school programs for young people. In addition to the game, fans enjoyed free food, activities for the kids, and a chance for the football team to get in front of a crowd before pigskin season begins this fall. An update now on a Wingate football player we profiled in March who planned to try out for the National Football League. Paul Grammaticopoulos, who's studying for his MBA, did attend the NFL Combine in Seattle late March and told us he's happy with his performance. He had to kick 6 field goals and 3 kickoffs for the Scouts. He made all his field goals except for the 2 longest. There were 50 kickers vying for 2 slots. And while he wasn't selected immediately, he could still get a phone call.
It's been a couple weeks now and I haven't heard back, but I'm still hoping, since I did fairly well, I'm still hoping maybe I'll hear from anyone, CFA, IFA, NFL. So I'm still waiting.
Grammaticopoulos is from France and had never played football until he came to Wingate, recruited here to play soccer. He became the Bulldogs' kicker and in 2011 won the SAC Statistical Champion Award, given to the kicker with the highest percentage of field goals. The trip to Seattle and the cost to enter the Combine altogether ran him almost $1,000. It was worth it, he said, especially if it leads to something big. Now the story of another student athlete making a lot of noise, or should we say music? Joining us in the studio is the voice of Bulldog Sports, Ryan Brown. What do you got, Ryan?
Jeff, too many times on this Wingate campus, we have so many great athletes that we just relate to them as students in the classroom and, of course, athletes on the playing field. But in some cases, as you said, they make noise in other realms of life. That's the case for Union County native and junior Hayley Whitley. Most people may know Hayley Whitley for her time on the softball field or seeing her around campus. Something you may not have known about the second baseman from Monroe, North Carolina? Whitley is now a recording artist after winning the 2012 Music Artist Talent Search and releasing an album titled My Heart LP. An album she debuted in front of a packed house full of teammates, friends, and family. She met with fans, even signed some autographs.
I heard you were a wonderful singer.
Thank you, sir.
And overall thought the night went very well.
The release party tonight was lots of fun. It was good to see all my teammates come out, my family and friends supporting me. We had a great turnout, sold a lot of CDs, and glad everybody could come out and enjoy the music in the night. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night.
Whitley always experiences nerves when performing, but even more on a night with such meaning.
I get nervous for every performance, but tonight was a special night, so I wanted to do everything right. But once I started performing and seeing all my friends and family that love me, it made it a little easier to perform.
Back on campus, she continues to be an offensive leader for the 2013 Bulldogs while balancing life in the classroom.
Well, I've always said that while I'm in school, my singing is going to be kind of on the back burner. Right now, my focus is on school, getting finished, and softball.
Whitley's focus on softball while continuing to perform has been an easy transition, in part due to great support from coaches and teammates.
The girls are very supportive behind her. I think it's great, not only for herself, what an accomplishment, what courage it takes to get in front of people and actually do an album.
We're just really proud of her for pursuing her dreams with her music career and actually coming out with an album with 4 of her really good songs on there.
Coach Schaefer also understands the positive impact it has on the program.
It helps with the university, getting our name out there more. I mean, what can you say with, an artist now, Hayley Whitley for Wingate University. So she's a very accomplished young lady, and she's only going to do more things for this university and this program.
On top of softball, school, and singing, Whitley still found time to spend 10 days over Christmas break on a mission trip in Ethiopia. So what could possibly be next for the multi-talented Whitley?
The goal is to make another album and to continue to pursue my music career. But I'm going to finish school. I'm major in psychology and hopefully become a counselor. So of course I'll need to go to grad school. So I'm going to stick in school while I'm here.
In a day and age where people quit on their academics to chase a dream like a music career, Jeff, softball player Hayley Whitley has found a way to achieve all three: academics, athletics, and that music career. She'll go to grad school after she finishes her undergrad, and then the music career will pick up after that.
Great story. Ryan Brown, thank you very much. Over the years, Wingate's been fortunate to bring countless number of national and international figures to campus. Margaret Thatcher was here 12 years ago, and in April, the former British Prime Minister passed away.
For the foreseeable future, it will remain deeply hostile to the West in general, and America in particular.
Thatcher spoke inside Cuddy Arena in 2001. She was here in town for the dedication of the Jesse Helms Center.
I'm a great fan for all the service he's given to America and for the staunchness with which he puts forth his own views.
I learned that from her.
Thatcher, the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century and the only woman to have held the office, was a close friend of Senator Helms. They saw eye to eye on politics, both conservatives. Their relationship dates back to the 1970s. News of Mrs. Thatcher's death brought back a lot of memories for John Dodd, president of the Jesse Helms Center.
She was warm, easy to talk to, very friendly.
It was a journalist from the Soviet Union who called her the Iron Lady, a nickname that became associated with her uncompromising politics and leadership style. Margaret Thatcher was 87. Wingate alum and contributing reporter Brian Stevenson actually interviewed Mrs. Thatcher when she was here a dozen years ago. What was your impression of her?
Well, I have to tell you, Jeff, for such a world leader, she was a very humble and kind lady to deal with.
And this month's Alumni Spotlight, who are you featuring?
Well, from one of my most memorable interviews to one of my most inspirational interviews, Francina Hallrus is a 1983 Wingate grad, and I can tell you she is an impressive CEO. Francina Hallrus is a CEO who has a vision for business and a passion for people. She is the CEO of Total Protections, a company based in Charlotte that is dedicated to protecting critical infrastructure for assets like nuclear power facilities. She started this company after running a successful human resources business because she saw a need and a niche.
Nuclear security and critical protection infrastructures were really at risk after 9/11. So we worked along with the key stakeholders in the industry and created a model that works.
Since 2002, Hallrus has grown her company into an industry leader in protection services. Total Protections is helping protect facilities in 5 states and employs over 300 people. It's that opportunity to employ people that really makes Francina light up, because that's where she knows she can make a difference in people's lives, like she's doing in Mississippi.
When you're called to do a work in the world, sometimes you're just on that journey, on the path, and it shows up. And I believe that's what happened with Mississippi.
What started out as an opportunity to win a security contract became more about providing jobs to an area devastated by Hurricane Katrina and a down economy.
We have the right tools and the right vision and the right team to pull this together for the greater community and creating jobs.
If you had to look for where this drive to help people came from, you probably could start with her father, John Tate, who was an architect by day, but when he got home,
he could not wait to come home and change his clothes, take off the suit, and get into the sportswear and go out to the community center for the kids.
He coached recreation teams for 35 years, teaching kids about life through sports. After his death in 2010, his daughter knew she had to keep his legacy going. So she started the Coach Tate Foundation. Each year she holds a camp in Burke County that helps children.
I didn't know how it was going to go, but the community and the children rose up to meet me, and it's exciting. I'm so happy to be able to share in the blessings and give back to my community in a way that honors my father.
And as you can tell, she's such an inspirational lady. That story was part CEO, part foundation president. She tells me that one day she hopes to have a complex up there in Burke County that will teach children music and sports all year long.
Brian Stevenson, thank you very much. 4 months since the horrific massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut, the issue of gun control seems nowhere close to being resolved. Wingate's criminal justice program sponsored a public discussion entitled The Gun Control Debate, Balancing Constitutional Rights and Civic Responsibility. It featured a 9-person panel made up of a cross-section of individuals, Union County's district attorney, an agent with the ATF, several professors, and college and high school students. Organizers say the purpose was to educate and engage the campus and community in a subject that has important implications for all of public life, especially schools and universities. He worked for peace and justice in a most oppressive society, and in April, Desmond Tutu, the former Anglican Archbishop of Cape Town, South Africa, received another prestigious honor, the 2013 Templeton Prize, recognized as the most significant award in the field of spirituality and religion. Tutu, who is now 81, won the Nobel Peace Prize nearly 30 years ago for his work in helping bring about an end to apartheid, the political system in South Africa that segregated the races and gave privileges to people of European descent. Today, Tutu's family carries on his work. His third child, Naomi, was here to speak in March, and we sat down to interview her.
There is a common humanity that we all share. And for me, it is important that we celebrate that common humanity at the same time recognizing our very many differences, the gifts that those differences bring.
She has her father's passion when it comes to human rights. Her particular focus is on race and gender issues. Naomi Tutu, the third child and second oldest daughter of Desmond and Normalizo Tutu, shared that thirst for justice with audiences at Wingate over the course of 2 days in late March.
We cannot come into those conversations pretending that we are all the same.
The foundation of her life as an activist for human rights was born out of the challenges of growing up black and female in apartheid South Africa.
For me, grew up in a completely segregated country, a country where at your birth, you were registered, your race was set, and that determined just about really the rest of your life, where you could live, where you could go to school, even what jobs you could hold.
She told us for black South Africans, each has a different entry point into the recognition of apartheid. For her, it was a 6-year-old child, recognizing there were some places she couldn't go, like bathrooms at gas stations. But the greatest memory she has is from 1994, when South Africa held its first democratic national election when everyone could vote. Naomi Tutu was an official elections observer.
Watching people standing there for that long, and then when people came out of the booth having voted for the first time, it's indescribable. I mean, it really is something that I tell my children all the time, that all I can say is you saw light on people's faces.
She was 34 when she got to vote for the first time.
When I first voted, I couldn't believe that I was doing this. I stood in that voting booth. They probably wanted to kick me out that I was in there for so long, wondering what was going on. It was just, I wanted to remember this experience for the rest of my life.
In addition to speaking to audiences around the world, Naomi Tutu has gone back to college. She's pursuing a master's in divinity at Vanderbilt University in Nashville. She told us she believes she's called to ministry, though it's still a struggle for her. Her hope is that the legacy she leaves is of a person who truly honored the humanity of other human beings. Before we leave you, our final story.
And so I thought, how many other things haven't I done yet, and what haven't I experienced at Wingate?
It was graduation, almost within grasp, that got Rachel McCullough to create the Wingate Bucket List, a list of all the things she hasn't done but would like to do before she leaves WU. With the Twitter hashtag #WooBucketList, created by the university's marketing office, together they encourage students through this YouTube video to share what they would like to do before they graduate. One of Rachel's is fishing in the pond in front of Stegall Building and seeing Dr. McGee's office. Students have emailed, and Rachel and her team helped a colleague become the Bulldog mascot for a day and some other crazy things.
I hope it becomes not only a tradition at Wingate for the next, freshmen next year, I hope that they're doing a Woo Bucket List, but also other campuses, I'm sure they have things they could figure out and do.
Rachel's bucket list has about 50 things to accomplish. When we talked with her, she'd only done about a quarter of them. She's going to have to get busy. Graduation is May 11th. And that's our show for this time. I'm Jeff Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
Comments? Questions? Contact us. Wingate Today is a production of WUTV and Wingate University's Department of Marketing and Communications.